Did you know that Bigfoot is sometimes seen here in Ohio? Well, there has been a Bigfoot sighting here, and that might as well be the Sasquatch for me, because I haven't seen a log truck in this yard in a while. So I'm excited to finally find a supply of logs. This is from a company that you are not familiar with. I have dealt with him with some onesies and twosies along the way, and that's what this load is. This is not a solution to my problem, but there might be a chance because this driver has some connections with another company who might be able to be a more reliable supplier of logs. And what I like about this load is there is a lot of cherry on it, and I am desperate for cherry. Whew. It makes me wonder, though, if there was a Bigfoot, and if Bigfoot was a log driver, if he were to break down, would he need like a big tow truck, you think? And then there are times, too, when Bigfoot was mixed up with the Sasquatch, yet he never complained. We haven't done a video like this in a long time, which is not a good sign, but we are finally getting a load of processor logs delivered. It is mostly silver maple, or around these parts, soft maple. It's called cherry, and there are some beautiful cherry logs on this. And then some oaks. We'll take the bad with the good, and we're gonna watch this load get unloaded. We're gonna try and get them as not too close to the container. I still want to be able to drive around here. And he's going to lay down, we got some short logs on the front. He's going to lay down some runners, and we'll get these logs stacked on top of it. And you guys can hang out with me. Oh yes, look at this. Cherry, 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 cherry. You cannot believe how big of a deal this is for me. I am just desperate for cherry, and I asked him when he's pulling these cherry logs off if he can cheat them to the front so that I can get these processed first and get them drying out. Yes, these are silver maple, so they're a little on the skinny side, but I will take it. I just know from experience I would rather deal with a log that is too skinny versus too big, because I am just so much more productive on the processor than I am doing it with a chainsaw and a splitter. And I'm also excited this time of year that these logs don't have any mud on them, because we've been getting some rain, and these loggers, you know, when they take this big heavy equipment out into the forest, they kick up a lot of mud. The logs get dragged through it. So I am excited for this load of logs. And here is more cherry. Heck yeah. Oh, I can't wait. I'll show you my cherry supply down here. When I think of the firewood industry, you know, firewood is a high margin market. The secret to success for me in firewood is margin. And I do anything I can to get the price per cord up. And species specific sales is one of the ways to do it. And there is not a better mover for bringing your prices up than cherry, especially with these smokers. They love this wood. They will buy it for a premium. They have no problems with the price. And of course, the way that we make our firewood, now I bought this firewood, but this is from the guy that makes it for me. He makes it to my standards. Gorgeous stuff. Got it stacked and it's drying out. I pay more for firewood already made, obviously, than what I do to have it delivered like this, because then I got to make it myself. I think there's a business model just though for purchasing firewood if you can get those reliable producers that are trustworthy, that will make it to your standards, and that they won't run out of wood either. But then that takes all the fun out of firewood. You know, the fun is making it. Well, it's fun selling it, I'm here to tell you. My customer base too has been built on quality firewood that people are using, not for heat, but you know, they cook with it, they use it for weekend special occasions, holidays. That is my market, the people that are willing to spend a lot of money for firewood, and that's why I say it's a high margin industry. But having nice logs sure does help. My problem this year, I have said since day one, the biggest misconception I had with firewood and dealing with logs and getting them delivered is I just had it in my head that when you needed logs, you call up the logger and they say, okay, I'll bring them right down. Well, it doesn't work that way. And here I am 8 years later and I'm still struggling to get logs. There are a lot of variables that go into getting logs. Do you have a place that's easy for the loggers to get in and out of? Well, I do. But then there's industry trends, there's market trends. The pandemic created a big disruption to the market. When lumber prices just got crazy, the mills were taking smaller and smaller and smaller logs. Like these logs would be worth twice as much up the road in Middlefield, where all of the blocking mills are, versus going into the firewood market. Also too, when the markets are hot, a lot of these logging crews don't spend the time to clean up a lot that may not be in their contract, and they leave all of these smaller logs behind. Or they may not know that there's a company out there like me who will pay good money to get these logs brought here. It gives them an economic incentive to clean up or to bring out all the culls or the rejects and bring them to me because I'll buy them. So life was easy when we had Log Hauler Jesse, because he was a friendly guy, he was a friend of the channel, and he always had his eyes open. If he were to stumble upon a good deal, he would buy the logs, bring them to me. Well, look at all those cherry logs. Jesse's retired, now I just gotta find this new relationship. And you know, the other problem sometimes too, that these loggers are not working in the area. And then you got to deal with trucking. And I'm not going to spend all that extra money to have these logs brought up here from out of the area. That then cuts into your net, and you know, this is not a non-profit organization. So he said there is some oak in this load. There's another cherry log, we'll take that. But this is a beautiful sight to me to have all these logs brought in. We're putting the oak, well, we're still putting the oak on the other side, and I'm trying to get all of those out of here, made and stacked. Look at that beautiful look. This is like, I'm serious, this is Bigfoot here in Ohio. It's been so long since I have seen a log truck. It's just, it's like seeing the Yeti crossing the street while you're driving down the road. But this is not solving the problem. This is a nice start, but you know, I need 20 more of these trucks coming in here to keep up with my pace. And that's why I've been buying as much firewood as I have. All of this wood down here, except for this part, all of that wood is purchased. This whitest stuff right here is, I made that with the 405. But that's what I do. I take my trailer out, I buy the firewood, and I bring it back here, we stack it, and this is just, you know, this is plan B to keep this business afloat and keeping up with my volume. So I can't grow. Right now I'm struggling to keep up with my volume, my current sales volume, just because whatever I sell, I like to replace it, and I don't know, I haven't really been able to do that right now. Okay, look at all that cherry. That's awesome. These are really nice and straight. These cherry trees, they like to grow with a twist to them. They come in crooked. They're sometimes hard to work with. Sometimes they don't like to get split through a multiple knife blade because of all the twist in them. But these look great. These might be the nicest cherries I've seen in a long time. And here's another thing. I can smell them from here. There is not a nicer smell in this world than fresh cut cherry. It is one of the joys of my job. Okay, well, he's unloaded. And this was a refreshing video to do. I wish I could do some more of these. Still, my plan is going to be knocking out all this oak over here and then getting the 405 fired up, and we're making world-class value-added firewood here at Ohio Wood Burner. Okay. And the truck is leaving. That's all my oak and hickory over there, so that's what, as long as the Timberwolf is here, I am knocking this out. I just want to get it all gone. It's been here too long. Some of that stuff deep inside was getting mushrooms, but the logs are still in pretty good shape. So we're just processing all of these, stacking them over there, and that will open up all of this side. If the day ever does come when someone says, Joe, I got 20 loads of logs to bring you, I'll say, okay, bring them. This is all oak on this end of this side, and that was just a special deal I bought. I actually got a good price on them. Okay, so this was our delivery. Let's say goodbye to the log truck. I hope I get to see him again. See, his crane is on the front, and it seems that you usually get a larger yield off of those trucks than the ones with the crane on the back, because they got to cut the logs short to get them to fit. But I think, there's still laws on how much overhang a log truck can have. But this is a beautiful load of logs. This is all cherry, guys. Oh my gosh. All of that is cherry. All the way up to there is cherry. Oh, that's gorgeous. The 405 is going to make mincemeat out of these logs. I do have the part to repair the 405. I've been having fun running these logs through the 6-way knife and 8-way too. But my preference is still the perfect split. That's what I have the panel taken off, because I got to remove that slide and get that part replaced. This time of year, it's just deliveries. That's all I've been doing is deliveries. 2.5 weeks. I worked 11 days straight, worked as in deliveries for 11 days straight. And then I got both trucks going, and 2 deliveries, so that's 4 different deliveries a day, because we deliver quarter cords to 2 different people. That's how you maximize your profits. That's at least how I do it. And so I haven't really been producing that much. In between all of them, I was knocking all this out with this Timberwolf, and it's kind of fun to just experiment with a different type of processor. It's one of the joys about being a YouTube channel. You can get opportunities like this. If you recall that video I made a couple of videos back where I just, gosh, this machine is awesome. It's twice as expensive as this one over here, but for crying out loud, this thing is just unbelievable. What a productive machine, the Japa 405. Love that thing. It's starting to get a little rainy. I have largely avoided bad weather. We had that one brief stretch of snow, but it came and went, and then we were right back into the 60s last weekend. Now we're cold again. It's supposed to rain today, but then we're calling for another week of 50-degree weather. And for instance, I have scheduled myself with no deliveries tomorrow, just on purpose. And that is, I'm going to have a big production day, not with this, but with the stuff behind me. A big production day. And then I also had that big production day with the boiler wood and using the Eastonmade axis. I can't remember when that video, if it has come out yet or not. But if it did, you know what I'm talking about. And if it didn't, well, you're going to enjoy that video. That was a lot of fun. Well, that's it from the wood yard for today. I was not expecting that call. And if you recall, a couple years ago, we just came up with that rule. Whenever the log truck calls, the answer is yes. Even if I have no room for them, we're going to take them, we'll put them somewhere. That's just how, you know, that's the name of the game. And that's what I had learned with this entire business is you can't sell what you don't have. And right now, I'll take it. All right, beautiful logs. All right, everyone, have a great day.